But actually, those things that light the trees are fireflies. Other places like Negros Oriental. May udto nang ikang gagawa ng inhas. Ano ba nang? Kasi mo kuha? Daghan. Ayara. Ayara, thank you. What happened to you, bird? Hey. Yeah. Crabs. They're hiding now. I'll try to vlog from here. We'll see if I can come up with I don't know what these plants are. These days, when we are in the mood to explore, one of the things we usually do is that we open Google Maps on our mobile devices and then we activate satellite view, and then we look for places in there that look interesting, or some things or some places that might trigger our curiosity. Just like yesterday, when I decided that I'll stay here in Siquijor for a few more days, I opened Google Maps, activated satellite view, and then I looked for white strips along the coast of the island, because those white strips might be white sand beaches. I was hoping to explore some white sand beaches that aren't yet being explored by lots of people. Those white sand beaches that still have no resorts built on them. Those that still don't have formal roads going towards the resort. Hopefully it can only be accessed by walking trails. And so I found several spots in the town of Maria, which I am going to go in a bit. But for now, let me tell you about why I came here and why I decided to stay here for a few more days and explore it, and what actually Siquijor is known for, and what actually Siquijor is. Yesterday, I came here to Siquijor because I had to bring my father's car from Dumaguete to here through the Montenegro boat. Then I noticed that there are lots of customers on that boat, both foreigners and tourists. The parking deck also was full of private cars. So I realized that there's maybe something going on in Siquijor right now, or the tourists, both local and foreign tourists, are actually coming back to Siquijor to explore, or to travel, or to have fun. So I thought, instead of just going back to Dumaguete immediately on that same day, I decided that I'll stay here for a few more days to explore some of the places here. So right now, I'm going to explore some of the beaches that I found on Google Maps that I mentioned earlier in the town of Maria. And maybe tomorrow I'll visit some of the waterfalls here in Siquijor. Maybe the third day, I'll go to Paliton Beach and explore some more beaches. But in the next few days, maybe I'll turn this into a Siquijor series. I'll visit some marine reserves, the caves, some barangays, talk to people about the faith healing and the potions here, etc. What is the ISO? Yaga good ani. So what is Siquijor? What are the things that make this place special? And what are the things that I think are incredible but are not very talked about by lots of people about this place? First is, Siquijor is an island province. It is one of the smallest provinces here in the Philippines. I think the third smallest province here in the Philippines. In the 1500s, when the Spaniards explored this place, they called this place Isla del Figo, or in English, Island of Fire. It is because when they visited this place, it still has few people and with lots of trees, lots of mulavi trees, what we call now as tugas. And those trees have like dancing lights at night. It's like Christmas lights moving. But actually, those things that light the trees are fireflies. I actually witnessed the fireflies when I was still young at my lola's house. One of the many trees in there still has fireflies, but later on, after several years, there are less and less fireflies. Maybe now in some areas where there are still less people, maybe the fireflies still exist. But it's been several years since I witnessed trees with fireflies. And the island of Siquijor is 30 kilometers from Dumaguete City. I think the nearest part of Siquijor to Dumaguete is 30 kilometers. And Siquijor has six municipalities: Larena, Enrique Villanueva, Maria, Lazi, San Juan, and Siquijor. And right now, if you want to visit this island, there are lots of boats that go from Dumaguete to Siquijor and vice versa. Like as far as I know, there are 2 boats that travel here around 3 times a day. Plus, there are fast craft. I think 2 or 3 fast crafts that travel also several times a day. And there are also boats that go directly to Cebu and to Bohol. I'm not sure if there's a trip here that goes directly to Mindanao. So what are the things that make Siquijor unique? I think I'll go here. So what are the things that make Siquijor unique? One of the most popular things here in Siquijor is their white sand beaches. Even when you arrive at their port in Siquijor, the port is located in a white sand beach. So the time you arrive in Siquijor, the white sand beach is already like calling you to dive, to swim. One of the most popular public beaches here in Siquijor is Paliton Beach. Here are some clips of Paliton Beach which I shot last August, where there are still less tourists because there were still lots of restrictions about COVID. Another thing Siquijor is known for is their waterfalls, the Cambugahay waterfalls. Though the only popular waterfalls here is Cambugahay waterfalls, there are several more waterfalls here. And another is the caves, like the Cantabon caves. And also their churches, the convent, the old convent of Lazi, and the churches all around Siquijor. Most tourists will also pass by the enchanted balete tree, where there's a foot spa or the fish spa, where fish will eat the dead skin on your feet. And then another thing that many people find interesting here is the healing tradition, or the faith healing, the potions, and stories about witchcraft, which I'm not sure if is true. But the faith healing thing is something that I might talk about in another episode, because I know lots of people, actually including me, who experienced being healed by faith healers. I had allergies before which are severe. Like, aside from the things that are talked about very often here in Siquijor, there are things that I think are special here and are less talked about. It's like the beaches here have crystal clear water compared to the beaches on other places like Negros Oriental. Mayngod to nang ikang gagawa ng inhas. Ano ba nang? Unsa imong kuha?
Tanaw.
Daghan.
Kanera.
Bitaw. Maayo kayo.
Kuha.
Ayara.
Yeah.
Sige ra. Thank you. Salamat.
Isa yung dirat na.
Gaulat ko na moabot sa barko. Nako giulat sa barko. Gani. So that's an example of Siquijorians' generosity. Another thing that I find very interesting here in this place is the feel when you chill at their town. Like when you just eat street foods, the vibe is just different. Another thing is the vibe of the people when they meet you. It's like Siquijornons would feel that someone is not from their place, and when they know that, when they feel that, they offer that person a welcoming kind of vibe. Even if you are a Bisaya, maybe it's because of your accent that Siquijornons would feel that you are not a local here. Or maybe there are just some subtle things that make Siquijornons feel that you are not from here, and they will welcome you. Another thing is their food, like their torta, their humba, the fiesta foods. Most of their foods here are similar to Dumaguete, but there are subtle difference in taste or the way they make it. And of course, the hidden beaches. There are still lots of hidden beaches here and are crystal clear. And there are coral reefs and there are fishes and there are rocks, like ancient rocks like this, maybe old corals. I'm not sure how these rocks were formed. Maybe there were coral reefs before. So maybe the sea was up, or maybe the land was still low and it rose when something happened, maybe a volcanic eruption or a land movement, etc. And also the mountain roads here. There's a different feel when you drive by their mountain roads. There are highways, I think provincial highways that go from the other side of the island to the other side of the island. And the highways there are just different. Like the skirts in their road, instead of having skirts like cemented skirts, it has skirts with grasses. So driving in there is just different. My connection with Siquijor is that my relatives are from here. My father was born here. So back in the days, we used to come here several times a year, especially during fiestas. We sometimes stay here for a week, except during the pandemic. So that's why even though I am from Dumaguete, I still feel like I am from Siquijor. If you like this video, please share. Please tell your friends about this.